All right. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am so thrilled to see you, to be together in our unique way where we bring our screens together into one great big sanctuary from across the country, from Hawaii and Chicago and Columbus and let's see,
Arizona.
wherever else we're from. And it is really exciting that we can do that. And so, one of the things that we have begun to do is to have a moment of intention before we move into our service. And so, I ask that you take a very deep breath in and hold it for the count of 3, and then release, bringing ourselves fully present into the moment. And then take another deep breath in. And at this time, we begin to release our week. Now we let go of our week. And with our last breath in, we breathe in the sweetness of Shabbat. And as we have begun to breathe in the sweetness of Shabbat, we will begin with our first song, the words of which you will know. It is Hine Matov, and the melody, we are going to jump right into Broadway tunes. The melody is Deb.
It's actually, and we should tell them this also. The tunes and the shows are all going to be typed into the chat by Rabbi Shana, so that way you'll be able to see them. But the opening song, it has a little bit of Hine Matov in it, and it's Everything's Coming Up Roses from. Anybody know the show? Raise your hand if you know the show. Oh, we've got a few there. It's from Gypsy. Very good. I saw the mouths moving. Curtain up, you look great. Yesterday was Purim, so we're late. But as long as we're here, let's celebrate Shabbat with show tunes. Here we are, it feels right that we're praying together tonight. How pleasant it is. Hine matov u'manayim. Bim bam, bim bam, Shabbat shalom. Who knew last year we'd all be zooming from home? But it's fine, we make do every week 'cause we like seeing you. So prepare, let us pray, 'cause we're here anyway. Our service starts with blessing all we've got. Hine matov u'manayim. Let's pray, it's Shabbat.
Well, that's a way to start, Deb.
Hopefully that set the stage a little
I
bit.
think it's literally set the stage.
I didn't
Just
even do that on purpose.
That was wonderful. Just a quick word of tech. If I have a spotlight that we set, if any one of the hosts set a spotlight and then we remove the spotlight, you'll have to go back and hit gallery view to see everyone again. So Deb, that was amazing. Thank you. We have gathered our screens and we will now just please make sure you stay on mute so that we are all listening to the music and hearing the prayers. So we are now going to, I have I have lost, give me a moment. The PowerPoint did not download. So give me just a moment. I'm going to stall and keep talking to you because I downloaded a PowerPoint and there it is.
Well,
But
that's
it did.
cool. And while you're opening it, just for those of you as you're listening, I am curious of the music as you're going through. Keep track of who knows the most of it. I'm curious, and at the end, I may say who knew 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's actually 12 different shows represented tonight. How was that? Did I?
That was great. There's 12 different shows that you are
Oh, great.
singing.
And
And then I specifically chose songs that you are not singing for our readings. So let me make sure. Yeah, we are at the beginning. So we are going to move into our candles and Kiddush. And so if you would like to join me in lighting the candles and the Kiddush, I hope that you will. Please go grab your candles and your Kiddush and join me. And we can't hear each other. So please read it with me. This is from Rent. It's one of my favorite songs, but I don't sing. So we're going to read 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches and miles, in laughter and strife. In 525,600 minutes, how do you measure a year and a life? How about love?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy with mitzvot and who teaches us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. And so we had to get a little bit of Fiddler in, although we're going to see it a little bit later as well. A fiddler on the roof sounds crazy, no? But in our little village of Anatevka, you might say every one of us is a fiddler on the roof, trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune without breaking his neck. It isn't easy. You may ask, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? We stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance? That I can tell you in one word. We say it together, tradition.
Evening came and morning went, and God reviewed the time God spent, declared day 7 a new event, a day of rest. It is Shabbat, oy vey. So let's take time to bless the wine. So grateful are we for God's time. This prayer's about fruit of the vine. Bore peri hagafen, oy vey. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Now it is time to raise our wine. We say l'chaim. Well, we are grateful for this day God gave to us in a loving way. We'll rest today, and now we'll say, Borei peri hagafen, oy vey. L'chaim.
L'chaim. One of the first shows that I was deeply, deeply touched by was Pippin. And I want to share with you this reading as our opening reading. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Got to find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams. Every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning. Nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. So we turn to the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is our call to worship. And with our call to worship, we say to God, we are ready to dig a little deeper into our prayers. And so as you are able, please rise in body or spirit.
Adonai HaMevorach, praise Adonai, praise God forever. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, to whom our praise is due, now and always. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. Praise God to whom praise is due. Let's say it again. Oh, praise, give praise to God. God deserves praise. Baruch Hu.
We can't do anything if I am muted. By the way, if you can't see the chat because of the share, that came from Oliver, and that was food, glorious food. And I'm wondering, Deb, that was about Oliver asking for food, but that Baruch Hu is our spiritual sustenance. So I'm wondering if you thought about that when you were writing that.
Yeah, very deeply.
Sure you did, right? Absolutely.
Rabbi.
So we turn to the Shema, which is the watchword of our faith. We turn from moving and preparing our body and our soul for prayer to remembering the uniqueness and the oneness of God.
And for those of you who were with us for our the Shabbat service on Christmas Day, you will recognize this. We did it at the Chinese dinner and a movie Shabbat. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema, listen, tradition. Shema, listen, tradition. You shall love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. All these words commanded to you on this day shall be in your heart always. Shema, listen, tradition. Shema, listen, tradition. These words are quite important. You must teach them to your kids. Discuss them while you're hanging out and while you're walking. Shema, listen. Tradition. Shema, listen. Tradition. At bedtime and when rising, these words should oft be said. Mezuzot on our doorposts, we'll keep them in our heads. Remember my commandments and live by them each day. God's glory makes us holy. Be mindful when you pray. Shema, Shema. Tradition. Shema, listen. Tradition.
Deb, we're getting a lot of excitement here from these songs.
Well, good.
Yes.
I'm excited that you're enjoying them.
Well, I'm still in awe that you can do this. So
everybody needs a hobby, right?
well, you have plenty. We from the Shema and the Ve'ahavta, which is about honoring the uniqueness of God and remembering that we teach them to our children, we turn to Micha Mocha. And Micha Mocha is our song of freedom. When the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, they had this moment of totally unfettered joy where we absolutely recognized we are not slaves anymore. And they remembered to celebrate. There are a lot of times where we have these moments of joy that we have to celebrate because there are so many times when we forget these moments in our lives that we should be celebrating. And so with the Micha Mocha, we celebrate, we give thanks for these extraordinary times in our lives.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nadar b'kodesh. No ratzi lo ose pele, ose pele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zeili hanu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. You are super duper special, you're incredible. Moses' staff split the sea, that was really cool. So we sing this prayer today and dance along. It's not wrong to grab a tambourine. There is no one else like you, you're amazing. You got us across the sea, our shoes were even dry. Now we offer thanks to you for every little thing you do. We love you and we praise you, Adonai.
Ooh, there were a lot of moments of teaching in there, Deb. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Our feet were dry. We crossed the Red Sea. We grabbed tambourines just like Miriam.
Moses' staff.
Amazing. We might have to use that as a teaching piece in our tent.
Sure.
Rabbi Shana like that. Beautiful. From celebrating a moment of freedom, we also look to God for protection. And even when we're having so much fun, there's so much learning going on. And so we turn to Hashkivenu and we ask for God to provide for each of us a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace.
Sorry, got to get my music queued up.
I don't think you need to apologize.
I didn't have time to type it all, so some of it's handwritten. night is falling and we lie down to rest, we ask you to protect us, to shelter and to shield us. When the morning comes and sun begins to rise, be here with us, beside us, to guard us and to guide us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Grant, O God, we sleep in peace. Leshalom ve'amidenu. Shomreinu l'chaim. Ashkivenu u'shmor tzeitenu uvoenu l'chaim u'leshalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Guardian of all Israel, we ask that you be near. Please guard our coming and going. Keep us safe, O God, all-knowing. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Grant, O God, we lie down in peace. Shalom ve'amidenu. Shomreinu l'chaim. O God, this prayer we ask of you.
I don't want to talk. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
We ask God for that prayer of protection and connection, just as we give thanks for Shabbat, for that gift of a deep breath, the gift of rest and connection to time, which is really our gift. And so Vishamru is our next prayer, our next song, and Rabbi Shana is going to put it in the chat, but Vishamru will be sung to bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. I always do that wrong.
Well, don't tell them what show, because then, Rabbi Shana just chatted it. We were going to let them guess, but it's okay. You're all good.
I figured it had been given away, so I chatted it.
It's okay. How many of you have heard of Pal Joey? Oh, a couple people. Oh, that's wonderful. Awesome. I knew the song, but I didn't know the musical. It is Friday afternoon, exhausted from another week. Time to spend some time on Zoom, rest and peace to seek. Time these days ain't what we're used to. Every day seems like the last. So take a deep breath, let Shabbat in, connecting with our past. Veshameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam brit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oti leolam Shabbat vayinafash Ki sheshet yamim Adonas Adonai Et hashamayim ve'et haaretz Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. Back to V'shamru, V'shameru, B'nei Yisrael, Et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam, Brit Olam. We will always keep our promise, gathering, praying on Shabbat. For in 6 days God made all this beauty that we've got. We work a lot, we run a lot, we spin till we're dizzy to do a lot. Now rest like God and be refreshed. My parents are clapping anyway. That's great.
Well, I need to come clean and let you know that I was getting a lot of really beautiful chats, Deb.
Oh, yay.
So
when I'm feeling low.
I'll hold them for you. That was really beautiful. We might have to do that one again, even on a non-special Shabbat.
They're all
so we turn to the Amidah, which is our center, the center of our service. And as we do that, my goodness, let's see. I am really struggling. I have like all of a sudden I have 3 PowerPoints open. So let's just see which one decides to pop up.
Well, and I will warn you that there's a lot of English mixed in. So it's not going to be read directly, but we will be getting to all the words eventually.
Okay. So thanks.
Sure.
So we turn, let's see if this works. Nope. So we turn to the Amidah, which is, it doesn't want
to do it.
No, it doesn't. Let's go to the other one. So, nope. We're going to start. Deb, let's do this. I'm going to try to pull it up while you start. So the Amidah is the center of our liturgy in which we kind of recenter our prayers, where we give thanks for the forefathers and foremothers which came before us and God's greatness and the sanctity of this day. Please rise in body or in spirit. And as we begin our prayers, hopefully the screen share will magically start.
Adonai Sefatai, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips. Adonai Sefatai, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. You are blessed, Adonai, our God, God of our fathers and mothers, God of Abraham, God of Yitzchak and of Yaakov, Sarah and Rivka, God of Rachel and of Leah, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor veHanorah, who redeems our kids' for the sake of your name. Blessed are you, Sarah's help, Abram's shield. And always you're strong and you give life to all. by giving strength to us. Your love and your compassion is real. Somech noflim verofech olim umatir asurim. You are blessed. We pray that we may walk beside you with your love all around us. We praise your holy name. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. And then, because I forgot it, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh v'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Yasher koach. Oh, we had lots of everybody knew it.
Hey!
There you go. Very good. Oh, I shouldn't have stopped the screen share. Goodness, I am. I'm so you're doing so well. You're distracting me.
Well, it's your turn now. Let's hear what you found.
So one of my favorite recent shows is Come From Away. And in Come From Away, there is the song The Prayer, and which is an interfaith prayer in the church. And within that, this is an excerpt. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair and life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And so, as we turn to Shalom Rav, as always, we take some time to lift up our blessings and those things for which we are grateful. So we take a time to look in the chat, to take time to look in the bottom of our screens, the bottom of our screens, in the center of our screen, and look for the chat and lift up those blessings that you have found this week, those moments of gratitude that we can be grateful for and thankful for as we listen to this amazing music on this Shabbat.
And I just want to tell you also that for this song, I not only used Shalom Rav, but one of the alternate prayers for Shalom Rav is Lo Yisagoy. So I wrapped that in as well. So the meaning of it will be in the song, so we don't have to explain it. So enjoy. Well, nation shall not raise sword against nation. They shall never, never again know war. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev velo yilmedu od milchama. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Baruch atah Adonai Hamvorech et amo Yisrael beshalom.
We have so many blessings and things to be grateful for, even as we balance those things that are hard and those things with which we struggle. And so we turn now in our service to our prayer for healing, to our Misha Berach, once again, using our chat to lift up those names of our loved ones who are struggling, those names of our loved ones who are hurting, physical illness, emotional illness, mental illness, just struggle at this time. And of course, we lift up all of those who struggle with COVID, all of those who are caring for those with COVID, as we turn to our prayer for healing.
May Adonai, our God, who blessed the ones who came before, bless and heal those who are ill. With compassion grant their health to be restored. Grant renewal. Swiftly we ask for recovery of strength, of body and of spirit, O God. Complete healing, we ask this of you. Refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh vehaguf. Oh, heal our bodies and our spirits too. Adonai, be filled with compassion for all of your children. Wrap your arms around us with love. Refuah, refuah shlema. May the one who blessed Sarah, Abraham, and all their children, oh, bless and heal us, renew our spirits. Misha Berach, we ask your blessing.
We asked a blessing for those who are ill and struggling in so many ways. And now we ask for deep breaths of prayer as we take a few moments for silent prayer and reflection.
May God, who makes peace in the heavens, bring it down to embrace us. Oh God, hear my prayer. For all nations and all of us who inhabit the earth, for all people everywhere. Ose shalom bimromav, huyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O God, Adonai Tzuri v'Gali, my rock and redeemer.
So Rabbi Shana and I thought it would be fun to do something we have not done in, gosh, a really long time, Rabbi, right?
Yeah.
Really long time, which is to share a Devar Torah. And we wanted to share a Devar Torah because we both have a love of Broadway, a love of musical theater, and not an ability to sing. Sorry, Rabbi Shana, I thought that would be okay for me to say. Although Rabbi Shana has an extraordinary memory for lyrics, and I don't have that, but we both have a love of Broadway. In fact, we love Broadway so much that how many years have we had? 5, 6?
Yeah, at least.
We have together had tickets and gone to the Broadway series shows, and has been something very special that our families have shared and have enjoyed those series and those tickets so much. So what we thought we would do is each of us have compiled a list, and we haven't told each other the list, of 3 shows, snippets, lines of 3 shows that have informed our lives and that share some of our values and are really important to us. So Rabbi Shana, I've already talked a little bit, so why don't you share one of yours?
Okay, so I made it no secret. Many people who know me know that my favorite Broadway musical of all time, for both the story and the music and also just nostalgic reasons, is Les Mis. And I have shared that my favorite quote from this musical is at the very end when Jean Valjean is dying. They sing, "Remember the truth that once was spoken. To love another person is to see the face of God." And the reason I love this quote so much is I also often joke that I'm the rabbi that rarely ever finds God in the sanctuary. And I certainly never find God in nature. But I do often find God in my relationships with other people. So I love the notion of to love another person, to look into another person's eyes, to be in relationship with another person. That's when you see the face of God.
Thank you, Rabbi Shana.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. And I have heard you say that since I've known you. So I'm really glad you shared that. So I chose for my first example something that's actually become pretty important to me this year, because this has been a hard year, and it's from Seussical the musical, which is How Lucky You Are. And the first 2 stanzas are, "When the news is all bad, when you're sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. Tell yourself how lucky you are." And it's about the silver linings that we have been able to find. And look, things have been hard and things have not always been easy, but we're always able to find just one small thing to keep us going. And I really love that. And this song is catchy and lovely, and tell yourself how lucky, lucky you are, how thank your lucky star you've gotten this far. And when everything just feels like it's piling on, you can always find that one lucky star.
So my second one, Rabbi Vann and I often joke that we never talk before a bar bat mitzvah about what we're going to say to said child, but that we often go on a similar theme. And I think your first quote and my second were along a similar line. So what I love about Broadway musicals is even in the most irreverent musical, which one would say Avenue Q is, it is completely irreverent and so inappropriate on so many levels, but super funny. You can find a nugget of something truly beautiful. And one of the ending songs is everything. It's actually called It's Only for Now. And one of the last verses is, don't stress, relax, let life roll off your backs, except for death and paying taxes. Everything in life is only for now. And there's actually a beautiful Hebrew phrase that says Gam ze ya'avor, which means this too will pass. And it reminds us that when life is really, really hard, to remember that it will pass. And so that, yes, we need to live in the difficulty, but we need to remember we will get through it. But it also remembers that when something amazing happens, we really need to savor it, because that too will also pass. So celebrate joy with great abandon, and remember that when life is hard, it will pass. So
I love that. And my second is, many of you have known that I have been, mildly obsessed with Hamilton these last number of years, listening to it on repeat. And one of my favorite songs from Hamilton is "Who Tells Your Story?" And in some of the lyrics are, "Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Every other founding father's story gets told. Every other founding father gets to grow old. And when you're gone, who remembers your name? Who keeps your flame? Who tells your story?" And that always reminded me so deeply of the Kaddish and our mandate as Jews to make sure that our stories get told, and that the legacy of each of our stories is one of the most important things that we do, Lador Vador, generation to generation, that our stories are among the most important things that we tell. We name our children after our beloved dead. We light yahrzeit candles. And so our stories are who we are and what we are, and are embedded into the very values and the very principles of Judaism.
Emily, who turned 12 today, was the perfect age when the movie Frozen came out, which they have turned into a Broadway musical. So I did not leave the Broadway stage. And it was on a constant loop in our house for a very long time. And my favorite song from that movie is Fixer Upper. And at the very end of that song, it says, people make bad choices if they're mad or sad or scared or stressed. Throw a little love their way, and you'll bring out their best. True love brings out the best. Everyone's a bit of a fixer-upper. That's what it's all about. Father, sister, brother, we need each other to raise us up and round us out. Everyone's a bit of a fixer-upper, but when push comes to shove, the only fixer-upper fixer that can fix up a fixer-upper is true love. And it just reminds us that nobody's perfect, and that's not what should be expected. That should be nobody's goal to be perfect. But that when we find people who compliment us and who raise us up and who bring out our best, that's when we can be our best.
It feels like we just saw it, Rabbi Shana, but is it 2 years ago? Come From Away?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't expect to like Come From Away as much as I did. And Come From Away, if you've not seen it, is a story of 9/11. And my goodness, I just forgot the name of the town in
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, where 700 passengers were detoured and stayed when the airports were closed, and how they fed and housed and cared for them when they were stranded there. And it touched me to my soul. And I have, it was really extraordinary. And the song Bedding and Blankets, of how it really tells in one quick song the story of how the entire town started coming together and coming together and coming together to feed and house and clothe this literally a small city that landed in their town. And so the end of the lyrics are, how do you know what you need when you don't know how many you're going to feed, when you don't know how many are staying, how long they're staying? We're better start praying the weather stays nice. And then from earlier in the song, there's this lyric, and I'm trying to find it now, where she starts to cry from all of the things that just keep coming, and all of the things that just keep happening. And it's just a magnificent song, and it tells me of our Jewish value for tzedakah and for taking care of others. And St. John, Newfoundland, thank you, St. John's, Newfoundland, and how we are obligated to care for the other no matter what. And I think that's why it touched me so much.
And so I think the point we wanted to make is that, you know, a lot of people talk about high culture and low culture and all of that, but I think any type of culture can speak to you. And culture is very much like the Torah in that something, you can see a play or a movie or hear song lyrics or whatever it is over and over and over again. And depending on who you are at the moment, where you are, what you've experienced, something might hit you differently. It's why I have seen Les Mis, I want to say 8 or 9 times. It's why we go see movies over and over again. It's why they speak to us, because they speak to our lives. And if you looked at the 3 examples I gave you, one is a super sad, very heavy musical. Another one is completely irreverent. And another one is meant for supposedly a child's audience. But they all spoke to me on a deep level. The same with Rabbi Vann's choices. They were all 3 very different types of musicals. But no matter what the genre is, no matter what the medium is, whether it's top 40 or classical or whatever, we all find ways to connect. And we all find meaning in these everyday experiences. And that's why they have become truly popular culture, because they speak to our hearts, they speak to our souls, and they speak to our experience and our values. And that is what we wanted to share with you this evening. So we hope you find your own piece of pop culture that speaks to your heart and your values and your soul.
Torah is everywhere. And I, Rabbi Shana, I have loved going to Broadway with you because you have helped me see it even deeper. And so that's been a gift for me. And Deb, I see Broadway again with new eyes. So thank you for this service. And I'm going to remove our spotlights here so that we can return to our screen share, because we are going to turn to Aleinu. And as I have been from current slide, oh, there we go. The Aleinu is, as we know, it says, oh, the service is almost over, but it also is our prayer where we lift up, and we're lifting up and remembering God, and we're lifting up and remembering our obligation to make the world a more perfect place. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה echad. Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad.
And we turn now in our service to our time of memory, a show that we haven't really mentioned that much, the show Wicked. Beautiful, beautiful show. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them. And we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better because I knew you? I have been changed for good. We have been changed for good as we remember on this Shabbat. Our thoughts are with Adele First, who has most recently died, and we are waiting news of the service. And we remember the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of death that fall on this Shabbat. Bernard Abramson, Joseph Alexander, Bernice S. Dworkin Birkenfield, Edith Busney, Jack C. Epstein, Daisy Bauman Fisher, Albert C. Galvin, Relia G. Goldberg, Lee Samuel Good, Matilda Wynne Goodman, Rose Weber Gottdiener, Bernard Gottesman, Henry Green, Abner Hertzmark, Seal Schwab Johnson, Edith Lewendorf, Joseph Lukenitzer, Robert Baker Myers, Jeanette Nyer, Mildred Rifkin, Sylvia B. Rose, Gazella Stewart Rosenberg, Myron Rubin, Emmanuel N. Stern, Sidney H. Stern, Mary Glick Wallace, Amanda Faith Walton, Sydney L. Weil, Rose Keller Weiss, Jane Weiss, Arthur E. Wiesenberger, Florence Wolf, Paula Zeisler. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled, and we join in the mourner's Kaddish. Please rise in body or in spirit. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chirute, v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha barechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Deb, do you want to introduce the closing song?
Well, it kind of introduces itself. So let's
Go for it.
together. So I asked Rabbi Vann to put the words up because those of you who know the tune will be able to sing along. It's hard to keep track of all the words without having them in front of you, especially when you're singing to an unusual tune. You say it's time to go eat 'cause your dinner is getting cold. I say we needed a new closing song 'cause the others feel old. Don't despair, 'cause Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote an amazing musical. Once again, proving that Adon Olam can be put to just about any tune. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yetzir Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yiyeh B'tifara, Adon Olam Asher Malach, da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni lahamshilo, lahamshilo lehach bira. Beli reshit beli tachlit, velo ha'oz v'hamisra, v'hu eli v'chai goali, v'torchav li be'et tzara, v'hu nisi umanos li, menat kosi beyom ekra. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yetzir Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'yado Afkid Ruchi, Ve'et Ishan Ve'ayira, Ve'im Ruchi, Geviati, Adonai Li Velo. Velo ira, da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Everybody, da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Shabbat Shalom.
I had to end the share because I had so many chats. I had to make sure that,
Well, you can look at chats. Oh, no, that's because you're sharing. You can't see them.
I can't see them.
So also, I want to give credit to Cantor Ozzy Schwartz in New York, who actually wrote the Adon Olam part to that, and I just copied him. The beginning was mine, but
Wonderful. I do have just one quick thing before we move to our benediction. I muted myself. Just
you disappeared for a second.
No, I didn't. I would never do that, Deb. Well, not on purpose. So our music continues, not Broadway, but we have a concert on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Nefesh Mountain. They are something you've never heard before. Really extraordinary. American Roots means Jewish heritage and tradition. If you have not received your link and you want to come, email Brett over the weekend for a link. It's at 5 o'clock on Sunday. You do not want to miss it. And we move from Purim to Passover. Believe it or not, Monday mornings, Temple times, 7 a.m., you will see lots of Passover information. We have been busily making Passover happen. We did not think we'd be here doing Passover again on screen, but here we are, and we are going to make the best of it. And one of the ways we're going to make the best of it is that Deb is going to teach us some new cooking experiences Thursday night, March 4th. Go to the website for some information. Next Friday night is another fantastic, special, amazing Shabbat. Pamela Schuler, who will offer our Devar Torah. She is a comedian. She is a speaker. She is an advocate. She will teach us about inclusion. You do not want to miss her first appearance at Suburban Temple-Kol. I will see you, same bat channel, 6 o'clock next Friday. And now we end not with Broadway, not with new words, but with our beautiful and special benediction.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine upon each of you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness. I am going to go grab my challah. I want to thank Rabbi Shana and Brett for being here, and Deb, you are amazing. Rabbi Shana, always great to share the bima with you.
I forgot to bring my challah tonight. I'll just drink wine.
Of course, Rabbi Shana, always great to share Broadway with you. Deb, whenever you're ready. I won't unmute everyone, I promise.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon.
B'te'avon.